Hi folks, and welcome to episode 2 of this tactics testing series. My name is Korky. Thank you very much for joining me. We're running a series of 10 episodes where we're testing 10 different tactics in FM22 with teams across 4 different leagues with various different levels of European competition as well. So without further ado, let's run the intro. Let's get into it. So before we get into the tactic and the results, we're running this test with teams across 4 of the top 5 leagues in Europe. We're using Nice in France, Tottenham Hotspur in England, Lazio in Italy, and Woflsburg in Germany. The reason for this being is we want to test this tactic not only against the domestic cup and league competitions, but Nice have no European football, Tottenham Hotspur have Europa Conference football, Lazio have Europa League football, and Wolfsburg have Champions League football. So we want to see how the tactic works against the domestic competition, but also on the different levels of European competition as well. So let's get a look at the tactic itself. We'll go over the player instructions and the team instructions as well. So we're going to have a look first of all at the team instructions. As you can see, we've called this tactic the Sandman. Again, we've just picked a name out of a hat basically from Ted Lasso. Absolutely love the TV show itself. If you are a fan of it, please jump over to our Life After Lasso series where we're doing a 3-year career with AFC Richmond in Football Manager 2022 as well. So the tactic we're using here is I would call it a 4-3-2-1. Some people might call it a 4-3-3 or a 4-1-2-3, whichever your preference, it doesn't matter. But we're playing a 3-man midfield with a defensive midfielder as well. It is a little bit attack heavy on the left hand side, as we will see in just a few moments. As we can see, our tactic style is custom, our mentality is positive. We have set up here, first of all, in possession. Our attacking width is neutral, it's in the middle. We have no additional instructions in our approach play. We pass slightly shorter and extremely high tempo. We're aiming low crosses and we're trying to work the ball into the box. No set pieces, no dribbling, no creativity settings in here. In transition, we have counter press and counter attack. Our goalkeeper will distribute to the centre backs with no specific instructions of how to do so. And out of possession, we're going to have a much higher line of engagement. So we want our forwards and our wingers pressing the defence and the goalkeeper more. We have prevent short goalkeeper distribution and a much more trigger press as well. We are playing with a fairly narrow defensive line, a narrow back four. We're trying to force the opposition outside and we're playing with a standard defensive line and the offside trap as well. So having a little look at the player instructions themselves, we have a goalkeeper on defend duty, no additional instructions. In right back, we have a wing back. We have the additional instructions, wing back on support, additional instructions, take more risks, dribble more, shoot less often, sit narrower, tackle harder. We want our right back to get forward more, take on more runs, certainly dribble a lot more down the line, shoot less often. I mean, as a full back, you don't want to be shooting often anyway, unless you are Herman Hreiderson. And also to sit narrower, so it compacts that defence a little bit more. In centre midfield, we have 2 ball-playing defenders with defend instruction, exact same settings on both. Dribble more, we want them to bring the ball out more. Again, shoot less often, doesn't really need to be there, but we've added in anyway. Sit wider and tackle harder. Sit wider to try and create that that sort of defensive position to force the attackers as well. And in the left back, we have a wing back on attack duty. Again, take more risks, shoot less often, sit narrower, tackle harder. We want them to get up and down the line, but also sit narrow to push the attackers wide. In defensive midfield, we have a defensive midfielder, funnily enough. We have him on support duty, so he will help out the defence and the midfield. Again, dribble more, we want him to carry the ball more, shoot less often, and tackle harder. In centre midfield, we have first of all a central midfielder on automatic duty, take more risks, dribble more, shoot less often, move in the channels, tackle harder. We want him to move in the channels, certainly get further forward, carry the ball with him, but we also do want them to not shoot less often, so he's not always trying to take shots and things like that. Depends very much on the player you're using. We wanted to look for the pass instead of taking the shots. Next to our central midfielder is then a box-to-box midfielder, pretty much doing the same type of duties as you'll see there. Only one or two little differences. Box-to-box midfielder on support, so there is the addition of roam from position as you'll see here. That is by default. Take more risks again, dribble more, shoot less often, get further forward, move into channels and tackle harder as well. On the right wing position, we have a winger in attack. We want them to shoot less often. We want them to be looking to cross the ball and pass the ball more, and also tackle harder as well as these default settings. And on the left hand side, we have an inside forward. We want him to shoot less often as well, which seems like a little bit of a counterproductive instruction, but we wanted to come inside, look for the striker or the attacking midfielders more often, sit a little bit narrower as well, allowing that wing back to come up on the left hand side to create a bit of freedom and a bit more creativity. And up front we have an advanced forward on attack duty, as you expect. Take more risks, dribble more, shoot less often, because again, if he's in position to make the pass, we don't want him shooting from a 3-degree angle. We want to be looking for the pass into the midfield. So that is it for the team instructions and the player instructions. We're going to look at the results, first of all, starting with Nice. So as you can see from the competitions page with Nice, we've actually done extremely well in this season. In the Coupe de France, we have got to the quarterfinals where we were knocked out by Lille. Friendly Cup, doesn't matter. Who cares? We got the semi-final. It's fine. But in the league, more specifically, we finished second in the league, beaten Marseille by 2 points, beaten Monaco by 3 points. We were 12 points behind PSG, but it's PSG. You know, it's going to be a tough job to unsettle them. Looking at the stats themselves, we've done very well in the stats categories. We'll just change that. As you can see, Andy Delors finished top goal scorer. I mean, joint top goal scorer really, with 24 goals, along with Mbappe and Moussa Dembele as well. We can see that Andy Delors has finished the highest average rating this season. We actually have 4 of the top 5 players in here, with Korky, Rosario and Amavi all featuring as well. Amavi second top in the assists list with 14 and Rosario with 12. Player of the match, Andy Delors, joint top again with 8. And unfortunately, Jordan Amavi, with a bit of a discipline issue, he's finished with 12 yellow cards. And Claude Maurice covering the most distance there as well. So having a look at the players themselves, as we can see, Andy Delors has scored 28 goals in all competitions. We know we got 24 in the league. He's got 4 other in the cups as well. There wasn't a great cup run, obviously, on the one competition, I should say. So not an awful lot of opportunity to score a lot of goals. We can see here Amina Aguirre has come in with 17 goals. Justin Kluivert chipping in with 15. Takuna is out unknown, obviously. But even Doncha is coming in, contributing 10 goals as well. Mostly they came from set pieces. Of course, he's a central defender. He's huge. He's the man's a giant. So he was going to contribute there as well. And as we can see from the assists, Jordan Amavi contributing 15 assists, Rosario with 13, Andy Delors even contributed 11 assists himself, and Kluivert in with 7 as well. Average ratings, as we can see here, Andy Delors obviously top rating. Todibo, Rosario and Amavi all coming in there, with Doncha coming in at 7.3 as well. Those top 4, as we know, finished in the top 5 stats in the league. So this has worked very well for Nice. As you'll see, we finished second in the league there, and we have done pretty well. We've got the quarterfinals of the Coupe de France. So let's jump over to Tottenham Hotspur, and we'll see how we've done in the Premier League. Well, much like our Pepper Shakers formation, it has not gone smoothly in Tottenham Hotspur. As we can see there, appointed manager on the 5th of July. By the 20th of November, we were sacked, which is a per show again. So it is. Let's take a quick look at the league to see where Spurs finished. Spurs finished in 7th place, so they have nobody in the stats. We're not really too bothered about that. Let's have a little look at the past positions. And as you'll see, on the 28th of November, let me just see if we can bring that back up again. Football Manager can be fickle sometimes with this. 28th of November would have been around game 14 is that? Game 12, game 13? Game 13, 20th of November. We lost 1-0 to Everton. As you can see, we were in 9th position at the time, which is per for Spurs after that many games. They did drop down to 10th shortly after that, stayed there for 3 weeks, jumped up a little bit, came back down, had a little bit of a rocky road, and then once they got up to 7th place, they kind of leveled out there. 2 weeks in 8th place, but it's 7th is where they finished. That would have qualified them for Europa Conference League. Yes, it has. In fact, they're in the Europa League because Leeds are in the Europa Conference League. I'm not sure why. I'm not going to look into it. We don't care that much. So let's jump over to Italy and let's have a look at Lazio. So things have gone very, very well for us in Lazio. As you can see, we've won the Serie A. We've won the Serie A by 4 points. We won it with a game to spare. Absolutely thrilled with this result. In the Europa League, we got as far as only the second knockout round where we were put out by Bayern Munich. And in the Coppa Italia, we've got to the quarterfinals where we've been put out by Inter Milan. Let's have a little look at the stats. And as you can see, Ciro Immobile, 46 goals across the season, which is absolutely incredible. It's almost double of the second top goal scorer, Rafael Leao. Unsurprisingly, Immobile finishes with the highest average rating, and as you can see there, Pedro with the top assists with 13, Luis Alberto and Manuel Lazzari also chipping in as well, and again, unsurprisingly, Immobile with the most player of the match awards. We can see here in terms of tackles won, Hasai has come in second in the league, and in terms of dribbles, Lazzari has come in 5th place in the league as well. We'll have a quick look at the team stats here, and as we can see, Ciro Immobile has in total scored 67 goals for us in 47 games. It's quite possibly the highest amount of goals I've ever had a player score in one season. Coupled with that, we have Pedro chipping in with 19 goals, Milinkovic-Savic coming in with 10 goals, and as we can see all the way down the team, apart from those players that are out on loan, of course, most of the players have contributed a few goals as well. Unsurprisingly, Immobile finished top of the list in terms of average rating. Milinkovic-Savic coming in second, Alberto, Lazzari, Pedro coming in the top 5 for the team as well. And very quickly looking at the assists, Pedro, as we know, finished top. He's got 17 in all competitions. Felipe Anderson with 14, Milinkovic-Savic with 13, as is Lazzari, and Luis Alberto with 12, and even Cataldi chipping in with 9 assists and 2 goals as well. So that is it for the Lazio season. Let's jump over to Germany and let's have a look at Wolfsburg. So here we are in Germany. We're having a look at our Wolfsburg season, and again, this has gone very well. As we can see, first of all, in the DFB Pokal, we finished in the semi-final, losing out to Bayern Munich. In the Champions League, we've done pretty well. We've got to the quarterfinals, losing out to Man City. But in the Bundesliga, we have come in second place, ahead of RB Leipzig, ahead of Dortmund as well. Narrowly scraping through in the second by 1 point ahead of RB Leipzig, but a full 11 points ahead of Dortmund. We are a full, 19 points behind Bayern Munich. So clear runaway winners, as we would expect from Bayern Munich. We will have a quick look at the stats. As we will see here, Jonas Vind has finished joint third top goal scorer with 3 goals, and he's come third in the player of the match awards, and Castells has come second in the clean sheets as well. So second best goalkeeper, joint second best really with Galassi, but he's finished with 16 clean sheets as well. Having a little look at a couple of players, TVO is finishing in with a few stats there as well. So let's get a little look at the team and see how the team done on the whole. So in terms of goals scored, we see there Nemecha and Jonas Vind both chipping in with 19 goals in all competitions each. Luka Bakio, again, I'm not sure if I've pronounced that correctly. We have him on loan from Hertha Berlin, shipped in with 10 goals. And as you can see, throughout the rest of the team, obviously except those players that are out on loan, quite a number of goals shared around as well. Top of the assists is Arnold with 9, Cruz with 7, and Luka Bakio with 7 as well. And again, quite a lot of assists shared around the team here also. So this tactic has proved to be pretty good for us, except for in England. I think maybe Daniel Levy just needs to learn a little bit of patience, and as a Spurs fan, that kind of annoys me a little bit, because given the way the other leagues have gone, I think had we got, and maybe it was the players didn't suit the formation, I think that could have done very well for us. So that is our second tactic, called the Sandman. You can download it from the link provided in the description. As always, if you've enjoyed this video, please do subscribe to the channel. It helps us to bring you more content, helps us to bring you more videos. We would love to hear your feedback as well. If you have used this tactic, please leave your comments below. Please like and share as well. Of course, obviously, we would love to hear more from you. But that is it for this tactic. We will be back with the next tactic, and we look forward to seeing you then. Thanks very much. Hi guys, thanks for watching. Really hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please do hit that subscribe button. It helps us to bring you more videos like this in the future. In the meantime, you can watch one of these recommended videos, and we will see you in the next one. Thanks again, and take care.